Next on the pyramid is our inner circle and wider community at large. The inner circle, I think, is super important because even Jesus, while he had the 12, he also had the three, Peter, James, and John. And Peter, James, and John got to see and have a relationship with Jesus that not everybody else got to experience. Similarly, in our lives as students and our lives as adults, we have to maintain and put energy and effort and focus and intentionality behind the most important relationships that God has given us with our closest friends, our accountability partners, our confidants, so that when we really have something to celebrate, those are the first texts that go out, the first phone calls that get made. When we're really down and we need a shoulder to lean on, these are the people that are there for us time and time again. People with whom we have no secrets, hopefully. People that we can be completely transparent in front of. And these are people that we spend a lot of time with. That's why it deserves the level on the pyramid that it gets. These are people that we invest in, relationships we invest in with our time, our energy, our resources, our very best, because our lives are built to be played out in community. That's how we worship primarily, is in community. And that worship doesn't just happen on Sunday mornings. It happens all the time. When things are going great and when we are struggling, these are the people who are there. These are not just Facebook friends. These are the people that are in your kitchen, at your dinner table, in your closest space where your life can play out, rubbing up against other lives that matter to you. Now, I think this is something we really need to stress with our students, where there can be a one step removed feeling of community or the inner circle based on social media. And so we've clearly got to address that. More about that in a few minutes. This is definitely not meant to be cliquish in any way. While Jesus had a very tight relationship with Peter, James, and John, the rest of the disciples didn't feel shortchanged by Jesus at all. It was not an us and them. It's just simply an acknowledgement of the fact that you can only have so many very deep, intimate relationships. And that may be 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, but it's not 22. And so clearly we are called to be a witness and be active, vibrant participants in the wider community. At my house, when we would talk about this with our kids, as we continue to talk about this with our kids, we often talk about the lunch table, the random collection of people that God puts into your life based on where you are and who you are. None of that is an accident. The people sitting at your lunch table, the people riding the bus with you, the people on your soccer team that you're not as close to, none of that is an accident. It's all happening on purpose. And we as leaders need to talk to our kids about why that's happening, why they are where they are, and help them come up with ways to see how they can be vibrant, evangelistic people within the community God has placed them in, and for them to see that as an extension of their personal ministry.